I want to say that in pursuing having good conversation with some of the Mormons and the Latter Day Saints Church, it's an ongoing process of being able to communicate with them. And what I'm finding out here really kind of bothers me in the sense where there's really no exploration, there's no discovery, there's no chasing after, there's very little searching. I'm just going to simplify everything and just say it's basically spreading what they believe, and then that's it. There's no searching, there's no meditating, there's no questioning. Like, we're taught to share what we believe, but not to question it, not to verify it, you know? Like, just believe what you heard and don't ask questions. And don't look into the history of it. The history when it comes to the Latter-day Saints and the Mormons and all that, obviously it's not going to matter to a lot of people, but the point I'm getting at is, well, there's 2 points. One for the video and one for why it's taken me some time to get through all this is because I have to wait on others to hear back from them. So the point there being that, you know, there's time that's needed to between the replies, and I'm really hoping that we can set something up here, but it seems like it'll be in a couple of days. And the other point here is the video of, you know, I'm going to call this like self-conscious, I think. But when it comes down to it, this is just a brief update, really. A brief update combined with some thoughts that are worth putting up here. So, when it comes down to it, I'm dissatisfied with the way everything is going with the conversations that I've had so far. I am satisfied with the conversations, but it's only when they're in person. Through the text messages and all that, it's been informative, but I'm very dissatisfied. I want to say that, though, my time searching through everything here has given me some thoughts as far as with what matters and why searching and pursuing is actually a good thing. Is because it's part of our journey, it's part of our maturing, our growth, both as an individual and with what we believe. You can't exactly get further in what you believe if you don't search, if you don't look, you don't ask questions. And one of the real issues that I have, besides the fact that it seems that the Jesus Christ in Christianity and the God in Christianity are 2 different beings, which would actually make the Latter-day Saints and Mormonism a lie, because it is not the same as Christianity if those 2 points are accurate. But besides that, not asking questions bothers me, because I'm a deep thinker. I ask questions. I look into what is what and how it is relevant. I want to say that with the whole thing about being self-conscious and self-care, this matters because there is a very real aspect that is never talked about that just hit me, that I'm just taking like 5-10 minutes to talk about real quick. And that would basically be that the Christian God is very self-centered. He wants us to focus on ourselves and being better. There's definitely a couple verses I just looked up real quick just to see. Now, I want to say that in context here, it's more about being able to check out, being able to take time away to rest. The aspect there is resting and recovering. Me time, recovery time, self-care, self-love. And that it's not so much about being self-centered, but, self-conscious, self-care. So I looked it up here. Let me see here real quick. We all know what self-care is, but the points that are worth mentioning are mental health, physical, emotional, spiritual health, and as I've noticed, sexual health, addictions, the little strongholds that you allow into your life, that you allow others to take advantage of to try to manipulate you, getting you stuck further, so to speak. And, okay, walking in your purpose is taking care of yourself. That is one way, yes. Self-care is about good stewardship and responsibility. Agreed. Now, I want to say, people who say Christian self-care starts with knowing Jesus, I would say for the most part that is personal, but it seems that is very accurate. All right, for Bible verses here. 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own. You were bought with a price, so glorify God in your body. Mark 1:35. Now this is talking about Jesus, where he rose early in the morning while it was still dark, and he left to be by himself to pray. There's other verses. Matthew 11:28 through 30, Romans 12:2, Luke 5 through 16, Ephesians 5 through 29. The thing is, it's a combination of focusing on what Jesus did, as well as, people going away and praying and explaining who we are, like 2 Timothy 1 through 7. For God gives a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. I want to say that Philippians 4:8 is popular. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. And then lastly, talking about our identity, Ephesians 2:10, For we are his workmanship created in Jesus Christ for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. So our identity for who we are is a combination of both who we are made in the image of, as well as what is inside of us, both on an individual level, but also as a species. Because humans as a whole have different characteristics, the same characteristics that go from male to female. And then you break that down even further from, what males have versus what females have, not on a biological level. And then you go on the individual level with the abilities and the characteristics and traits that go even further. So there's a lot of good stuff here, but the point I'm trying to say is, and it hit me that the church, and I mean, in this case, both churches, for the Latter-day Saints and the Christian churches, they don't talk about self-care. They don't talk about anything to do with yourself and improving yourself. There's many men out there who are talking about self-improving, going to the gym, working out, and for multiple different angles, multiple different reasons, either because, hey, maybe I can get some money, or B, you know what, I'm falling apart, I need to strengthen whatever's left. Mortification. The Bible talks about mortification and dying slowly. And some people strongly believe in going out with a bang, doing the best they can until, something happens and, see you later. Until next time, until next life. I want to say that, in a way, I'm kind of a believer in that, because I want to do the best that I can and make an impact before, something happens to me, I guess. I guess coming to grips with your own mortality does change things, but I think when you focus too much on them, there's a lot more issues and problems that pop up that you have to deal with then. But in short, you're going to live for a while. You might as well take care of yourself and love yourself, do the best you can, because no one else will do it as well as you can, or as well as you should. People who care, they're decreasing in numbers every decade, unfortunately. There's too much focus on self. The Bible does talk quite a bit about that, but not in a healthy way, but more of like focusing on what people desire and, greed, lust, the characteristics and traits that are negative, that are used to manipulate and to steal, I guess. There's a whole bunch you could talk about there. Anyway, that's it. Just a couple thoughts here. I want to say you should focus on yourself, focus on your health, improve what you can, and that this is something that God talks about that matters very much. And the church should talk more about this, because you can't help anyone if you can't help yourself. And in many cases, if you won't help yourself, God won't help you.